Hey all you imps, welcome back to another reaction video. This time, it's the Chaotic World of Plush Channels by Bulbasquirtle. And they have like a Sonic OC as their thing, so whatever. Anyway, I know quite a lot about Plush Channels, because I grew up on watching Plush Channels. Now, not every Plush channel, but like quite a few, like the main ones, and I'm sure he's definitely going to talk about both of these, was SuperMarioLogan and Cute Mario Brothers. I friggin' loved those two back in the day. Nowadays, one of them's gone. The other one is not what I would really care to watch every now and again. I'll watch other people watch it every now and again, but I just to like see like what the heck are they thinking of this time. But otherwise, yeah, nah. And I freaking hate that they got rid of the original series, the Stupid Mario Brothers. That was so good. And I don't mean the channel like Stupid Mario Brothers. I mean like no, it was okay. It was called Mario and Luigi: Stupid and Dumb Adventures. That's what it was called, not stupid. Okay, yeah. But on a separate note, I was trying to do a live stream test on the gaming channel just a couple minutes ago. Had everything set up and all that. Had the new model ready to like be shown off if I didn't put it down as private or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible. But what ended up happening was YouTube saying, "Hey, you gotta wait 24 hours to get permission to do this." So yeah, that's happening. So instead, we're gonna finish off with the recording of these. And yeah, so let's get started, shall we? 3, 2, 1.
With all the different types of videos all across YouTube, there's always been a few select demographics with key players in all of them.
The king. Oh, dang it. The king of Five Nights at Freddy's and Jaden Animations.
However, there's one genre which I believe to be the most fascinating and in-depth than almost any other on the platform, one that's been growing in the shadows for almost 2 decades now, and that, of course, would be plush tubers.
You could come back in like 30 more seconds.
A long time ago, I thought about doing a plush channel, but I can't. I don't have very great motor skills, so like trying to hold a camera or set up a camera while also doing this type of crap and also trying to do different voices, it would just kill my throat. I couldn't do it.
Plush tubers, for those who don't know, are channels that film themselves controlling stuffed animals or puppets to create their own series or franchises out of their own imaginations. On paper, it's quite possibly the simplest type of video you can ever make. Well, besides just sitting in a box in the corner of the screen while watching a movie trailer or something.
Oh man, no, you gotta call me out like that.
It requires zero editing, a Sonic plush or something, and just some random plot or adventure out of your own head. Now, whether to say it'll be of any quality is up for debate, but the point still stands. Literally everybody on planet Earth has played with toys once in their life, so this is pretty much just recording that and making it into a YouTube video. And because of that, this genre has existed all the way back since 2006. And because of how long and in-depth the history of these channels are, I think it's time someone should go through
pretty much for as long as YouTube's been around.
Okay, well maybe not every single one of
freaking
them,
Jeffy.
but the big players throughout the history of the genre. So strap in, get comfy, and let's go into the chaotic world of plush tubers. So as I said, the genre started all the way back in 2006, and it was pioneered by the one, the only, Cute Mario Bros. Now,
yeah, these guys. Oh, summer fun. Oh man, I still have like one of the oldest I'm sorry, I'm looking so far off that my model kind of. But I have one of the one of my oldest Mario toys I have is this little plastic Mario, about like 2 inches tall, that's sitting on top of a Koopa shell, and the Koopa shell's a magnet. I just found that at like a thrift store or garage sale like decades ago, I think, or over a decade ago. Like it was a long time ago.
Act like I'm some mega fan of them. I'm gonna be real.
I loved it.
Watched any of their videos.
Yoshi
for reasons we'll
episode.
get to later.
Summer
However,
Fun 1 was great.
Goes a little something like this. Creators of the channel, Kenny and Tyler.
The freaking. I don't know if he's going to talk about this, but like, yeah, and also you're not hallucinating. There is Kermit, freaking Jack Skellington. I don't remember seeing Woody, but I do remember the freaking Mickey Mouse from. I do remember that one, and I don't know what the heck that little dude is. That other, what looks like another Nightmare Before Christmas toy. I don't know. But freaking Kermit was the bad guy. Weirdly enough. But yeah, there was this running gag in the beginning video, or in the first few videos, or maybe it continued on, I'm not sure. Because I kind of stopped watching Cute Mario Brothers after, I want to say, like, roughly 2010. I mean, I would still go back to, like, the original ones I like to watch, but, like, I never watched, like, their newer stuff. Plus, I think, like, at a time they, like, stopped making videos or something. I don't know. And, but there was this whole gag where Mario would wake up, and then it would be like, "Oh, the sun is shining," and then he'd say something like and the one that always comes to mind is, "Oh, the sun is shining." Wait, if the sun is shining, why is my bed wet? Oh crap!
Tyler met in 5th grade, and after Tyler's older brother introduced the two to a brand new site called YouTube via an absolutely iconic video simply titled Meow Mix Cell.
Meow 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 meow. Dang it! The freaking
Tyler created his own channel called Luigi Mario 122, and created what's possibly the first ever plush video ever made, being Super Spy Luigi Episode 1: Get the Glasses at the age of 12.
Oh my gosh, man, this is nostalgia and a half. The freaking crispy video with the low bit rate, the freaking or not MS Paint, the freaking Windows Movie Maker freaking subtitles.
Kenny made a channel which was first called Mario 8989, where he would upload very similar content, often featuring Tyler as well. However, finally in 2007, the video Find Yoshi was uploaded, and officially turned the channel into what it is today, Cute Mario Bros. They would continue to post
honestly, I might have actually known it back whenever it was that Mario 98989.
Very similar content for a while, and
but
introducing
non-Mario later becoming
like Woody, Steamboat Willie, who they stole from me by the way, Kermit, Jack Skellington, and many others. These old videos are just so charming.
I'm pretty sure
to watch.
Kermit was supposed to be the bad guy.
With
if it wasn't Kermit being the bad guy, it was that like weird alien thing with the weird beak nose. What the heck is his name? He would shoot himself out of a cannon or something.
Recording it. It's the most simple and innocent thing that could have been on YouTube at the time, and it shows. And since they started off so early, you can really see their improvement from over the years. From a random kid with a camcorder in the mid-2000s to a pretty well-made internet show with its own original theme song, animated intro, and everything. But over the years, they grew a very loyal and steady fan base that was always excited to see what was next. They even had a mail time segment where people could send in stuff for them to look at, and when people are sending you free stuff in the mail, you know you made it big.
Hooray! Coyote urine!
And like I said, their production quality has only gone up, and it's to the point where they even had their own original plushes specifically made for
Sadly,
their videos,
though, that they stopped doing it
using all
like
the same OG
3 years ago, I think.
Despite the fact that Mario was still a PVC figure and Luigi was the Mario Party 5 plush. It's just hilarious and so charming. It's very clear that they really went above and beyond to show how much they really did care about what they were making. However, if any of you are fans of them, you'll know that they're no longer creating content. In 2020, the two retired from plush videos after a solid 14-year-long career, and it wasn't even sad or anything. The two just wanted to move on from plush videos, which is totally understandable after 14 years of moving
I mean, to be fair, I would think that you guys have made bank at this point.
They truly did leave an impact that'll be felt for many decades. With many feeling nostalgic for their own videos and reminiscing on the fact that some of them are actually lost media nowadays. But maybe someday they can be uncovered, who knows. I bid them adieu and hope but nothing but success in their futures.
Dang it.
Oh yeah, and as for their, actual content, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I grew up with it and have encyclopedic knowledge of their videos.
I always found it weird how Jack Skellington's model would change to
so back in 2020, when I was still but a
like big-headed version.
Sonic collecting.
The thing that everyone does hate about this figure are the arms.
Oh man, I don't know if he'll talk about this one, but there was a Sonic thing, and it took me a while to remember what the heck they were called. Sonic Toast. Sonic Toast made a pretty good, stop-motion Sonic series, and the Mario Brothers were in it. But I remember, I'm sure I talked about this on the channel before, but it's it starred Tails in episode 2 ended up becoming a cyborg or something. Shadow constantly wanted apple juice for some reason. He got his head replaced with that yellow smiley face ball, so he was constantly happy. It was weird.
Don't let your kids watch it!
I was doing a routine eBay Sonic plush newly listed search refresh, to where I stumbled upon this plush. I had
Oh,
no idea what I was looking
gosh.
at, and I was so unbelievably baffled
That
by
is
it,
so
considering
ugly.
it was clearly a plush of the original movie Sonic, but as it turns out, this was a custom plush created for the Cute Mario Bros. Channel, as back when they decided to quit making videos, they actually auctioned off most of their plushes, except for the main cast, of course. And they did so on eBay so that all their fans could have a piece of their history. What an absolutely Giga-Chad move. I remember I was so enamored by this
fuck?
listing, I messaged Azure Blaze, aka the runner of Sonic Gear, and I had him add this to his website. So that's why it says discovered by Bulbasquirtle when it says how to spot fake
Huh.
merchandise on page 34. It's actually sort of interesting because
Man.
this plush ended up being bought by a fellow Sonic plush YouTuber, Sonic Whacker55. So
What
I
the
guess all's
fuck?
well that ends well. However, after them we get
That's
to
such
a
an
channel.
ugly
A
freaking
channel which
plush.
is undoubtedly the biggest plush channel on the entire website, a channel that is more iconic and infamous than any other plush channel, I am afraid, and I am of course referring to the turbulent tale that is
Oh, here we go.
Super Mario Logan. Now, for
Freaking
those who don't
Jeffy.
know, Super Mario Logan is very similar to Cute Mario Bros. Both use,
Originally
or at
was.
least used Nintendo toys or plushes
Except
in
for-
order to tell their stories, with a few other licensed characters.
Freaking
thrown in.
Shrek. Okay, I'll be honest. The Shrek episodes that he had, I almost always loved every single one of them. The only one I didn't like is The Ring, I think. But like otherwise, I loved pretty much every episode that I watched with Shrek in it. Despite it being 90% toilet humor and eating cheesecake. This dude, like, I'm pretty sure that this is the reason I like cheesecake so much. I'm not kidding.
Measure. They both started out making videos around the same time
Freaking Danny Phantom, Jack Fenton, he made me obsessed with fudge when I was a kid.
as children in the mid-2000s, and creating their own universes of characters that they're super passionate about. However, there's one key
Rimpo
difference
Hunter.
between Cute Mario Bros. And SML. So here's your average Cute Mario Bros. Video moment.
Why are you reading the comic? You can just watch the show on TV.
You know, Mario, sometimes
It's a different story, man.
you want to just relax, by yourself and unwind with a nice, quiet book individually.
And here's your average SML video moment.
That's it, Jimmy. You're done.
Oh gosh, the belt, no.
The game now, Dad? Oh, you're about to get something. We're doing that.
Oh god, no. What the
So
fuck,
as I
man?
said, Super Mario Logan started back in the mid-2000s. On December 8th of
I thought he was gonna show an older video. Well, I guess I don't know how fucking old Jeffy is now in terms of being on the show, but like I was expecting him to show like one of the older ones, not that.
2007, where Logan 30acre reenacted the Super Mario Got Milk commercial using his BD&A winged Mario plush from Mario 64.
I remember that. I believe I remember that
And
freaking
Logan has had
bit.
a complete fascination for video creation. He would get his friends as well as his brother.
Yeah,
to
here it
film
is. They're
videos
going to the
like
Grand
Mario and
Canyon.
Luigi's Stupid and Dumb Adventures, and would constantly
Krusty
add new
Krab,
characters
Pizza,
that would become fan
Pizza,
favorites
Pizza,
like Woody,
Freaky
Shrek, or Black
Jumbo
Yoshi.
Hunter.
However, while Logan was steadily gaining a huge subscriber count and loyal fan base, at least for YouTube at the time,
Mario,
Logan was going through
please.
several different major health issues. He had to be on a feeding tube, be completely bedridden, and go through an extremely risky surgery to improve his condition. And before
You know,
Logan
honestly,
went into
I've
his surgery,
either
he
forgot about
uploaded
that or
Mario and
didn't know
Luigi's
that
Stupid
happened.
and Dumb Adventures
I
Season
freaking
2,
love that so
Episode
much.
11, which ended with Mario going through a time loop where if Logan were to make it out of the surgery, he could continue the series. And if Logan didn't make it
Oh.
out, it would serve as an ending to the series. However, Logan made it out and dedicated every hour to his life to making content. He invested a lot of time and money into his videos to add new characters like Chef PP, Brooklyn Guy,
Okay,
and
Chef
many
PP was a
others, which
pretty
spread
neat,
Logan
nice
apart from the other Nintendo
addition.
channels, and made his really seem like its own universe. However, no character was more popular at this point than Bowser Jr., who quickly took over the entire channel and pretty much engulfed any other character spotlight.
Yeah,
The show had
yeah.
really found its footing at this point. Junior wanted something,
preferred
wants
Mama
to go
Luigi,
somewhere. Chef Peepee's
even
forced
though
to
they
help
killed him.
because Bowser's mean and forces Chef Peepee to do stuff.
Can I get a chicken nugget Happy Meal with a toy for this little bastard, please?
And maybe every now and then you'll see Mario or some older character show up. Eventually, though, Logan moved out of his parents' house and into his own apartment, where he, of course, made a whole video explaining how the house apparently burned down for all the characters.
The old
and that
editing,
needs to go
man.
somewhere else. And while he was in this apartment, he made what is quite
Super
frankly
Mario.
the most iconic and infamous plush video on the face of the internet. That, of course, being Mario the Babysitter in 2016.
With Jeffy.
Which, of course, introduced...
Hey, you want to see my banjo?
Okay, there's this one, or not this one, but I've seen this image on a couple. Like whenever I'm like watching a random YouTube video, I'll occasionally like look at the comments and look at the profile pictures, and I will see this really fucked up looking Jeffy, and it's like Jeffy now has like human skin. He's like a little bloody. It's like hyper realistic Jeffy, and it's very very unsettling looking. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen that before, but like, it is weird.
Unlike the junior fans watching the videos, who took over the entire channel's fan base in over a year, I'd
He's
say,
about to
it
kick
only
the
took a
Bullet
few
Bill's
months for the
ass.
entire channel's fan base to be engulfed with Jeffy fans, which is extremely ironic considering that Jeffy was meant to be a one-off character. But once Jeffy grew so popular, there was no going back. The younger crowd that had watched Logan's videos were absolutely...
Yeah, when you're too obsessed with the content and absorbed by your audience, you end up doing... Even if you don't like the character, like, you end up keep using it. Looking at you, SMG4 and Puzzle Vision. I mean, I'm not saying that he doesn't like that character. I'm just saying, like, in general, it's like, once you find that one thing, like, it's the one thing that your audience captures, or something like that. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I find some entertainment with some episodes? Sure. But I don't like most of them. Or if I do like it, I only like maybe half of it.
Absolutely enamored by him, leading to him being pretty much the secondary
Okay, that would get you
mascot to the
kicked the
channel
fuck out.
alongside Junior. And in a lot of ways, he even surpassed Junior in popularity. And this is the point where the channel really changed from a guy and his friends making plush videos on the internet to appearing on Good Morning America. After Jeffy was introduced, he became an icon
the
for
fidget
fans thinking
spinner.
that YouTube was evil and corrupting the youth of children. Kids would imitate Jeffy both in school and at home, and this led to supposedly,
that's
and I
a
want to
bad
say
thing.
supposedly because there's never actually been direct proof of this, a child supposedly tied a fall asleep rope and nearly control Z'd out of existence after imitating Jeffy from the video Jeffy's Tantrum, where Jeffy attempts to use said rope in order to do something bad to himself because Mario won't buy him a $2.99 Spongebob Apple App Store game. And Logan's entire channel was demonetized in 2017, which led him to move channels not once but twice.
Super Luigi
and
Logan,
after a few
Super
more
Bowser
years of
Logan.
media hijinks, like Logan
And now it's just called
accidentally
SML,
shutting
I
down an
think.
entire street in New York City when he overnight,
Bruh.
literally just on a whim, said he's gonna be at the Nintendo store in New York City, which led to an absolute tidal wave of Logan fans.
Wouldn't
You
you get
wanna
like
know
a
really
lawsuit
fun
or something from
story?
that?
I actually found this exact Bowser plush
What
on
the-
Facebook Marketplace once. I'm not joking. If I think I still have the picture of it. If I somewhere. Here's a picture of it. I literally found the exact thing. It was already sold, but you know I would have bought it, but god damn it. And a few years later, Logan proposed to his girlfriend Chili on a Jason Derulo concert, on stage for everyone to see. However, Logan and his now fiancé would break up over cheating allegations, as well as many other things like a failed partnership between a certain cupcake-yielding Eagles fan.
You know what I mean? This motherfucker is so
What the fuck?
fake, he literally has the word fake written in bold black Sharpie fucking marker written across his motherfucking pimple-infested goddamn forehead. You know what I mean?
It all culminated when Logan would end up getting a cease and desist from Nintendo themselves, stating that unless he wants to get sued, Logan would have to immediately stop using all Nintendo characters and properties on his channel.
And thus,
What this meant
Marvin
is Logan
and
had
all
to
them
delete
showed
his
up.
entire original Super Mario Logan channel, which had nearly 9 million subscribers, as well as redesign almost every one of his characters to be an original design, with mixed results. And it all leads us to today, where of course I glossed over and simplified.
Now here's the thing. I think that like what they did with some of the designs were pretty good. Like the Bowser Jr. design works pretty well. And Marvin, it's pretty close, but
a lot of that backstory. I mean, I'm down to tell you all the 40-minute unabridged version off the top of my head, but you know, this video's got to end sometime. So I'd highly recommend checking out Turkey Tom's video, as he does a really good job going over the entire story unbiasedly.
I feel like I watched that at some
because
point.
a lot of people have it out for this man.
Why is he
However,
back on
let's
screen?
actually move on to Logan's content now. So there's really 4 different eras of Logan videos you can talk about. We of course have the original / golden era.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what it sounds like. Everything from the Mario Got Milk video all the way to Bowser Jr.'s Macaroni. Where Mario was the lead character, there were tons of different ongoing storylines. And it's the simplest
Friggin' Woody
and
being the
least
Shrimpo
controversial
hunter.
era. Then we of course get to the Junior era. It's sort of a mix of what we have now as well as the classic stuff. Our main character, Junior, is a spoiled brat, and yes, it can get very annoying sometimes. But at the same time, we all watched these videos when we were like 8 years old, so we only remember them fondly, I'd say. In fact, the first SML video I ever watched personally was Bowser Jr.'s Happy Meal.
Take me to McDonald's, get a Happy Meal, I want a Happy Meal!
What the
of
fuck?
course, where many iconic characters found their footing. Like I said, Chef PP, Brooklyn Guy, Jackie Chu, Joseph, Cody, etc. And we
Brooklyn
have a lot of
Guy is
iconic
pretty
videos
good.
from this era.
He was a good
like
character.
Shrek's Diet or Bowser Jr. Goes to Disney World Part 1 and 2. However, then moving on to the Jeffy era.
I was expecting a different sound effect for it.
Being from Mario the Babysitter in 2016, all the way to Jeffy's new dad. It did take Jeffy a little bit to find his footing as a character, as Jeffy pretty much just started out as kind of just sitting there, doing some funny faces and visual gags, and that was kind of it. Except, of course, Jeffy's homework. We don't count Jeffy's homework in that.
Take the ball off the f***ing card!
At this point, Logan had really found the footing for how the scripts and the characters would interact, with more dimensions being added to their core characteristics and personalities. However, most of the videos from this era can be boiled down to one of two things. Jeffy doing something bad with Mario getting punished for it in the end, or Junior does/goes to/gets insert thing here. And according to the mathematical genius of Dad
That's the credit card episode.
He created the Junior Jeffy law, which said that any Junior era from this video would almost undoubtedly be made into a Jeffy video at some point. These videos aren't really as iconic as some other ones. However, I still think they're pretty funny, all things considered. And during this era,
and to be
Logan
fair,
moved
anyone
into
run
his
out of
own
freaking
house,
ideas at
which
some
he
point.
still uses today despite not actually living there anymore. He just uses it for filming. Imagine having an entire house as a prop. And since then, we've gotten some really
I mean, if
iconic
he's got the
videos,
money for it,
like
and
Jeffy's
it's not
Tantrum
really...
or the various Christmas
Oh,
specials
that
are
hurts
set
me
in the
right
house.
there.
And this finally brings us to SML in its modern incarnation,
Why is he
with
using
the
a freaking
puppets.
toilet brush? I guess it's supposed to be... Yeah.
I mean, the designs were never gonna compare to the Nintendo characters, obviously. But I
Marvin
feel like
ain't
they
too
did a
bad. And look,
fine
Junior, like, that is
job
a
at
pretty
getting
good...
each character's personality across.
Cody.
And after them being around for
I do not like Bowser.
Now,
Bowser
I don't know about
sucks.
anybody else, but I personally warmed up to them. Or at the very least, I've accepted our loss.
Look, this is happening, so just come to peace with it.
And since Logan's been doing this for over 15 years now, he's really nailed how each video is set out, and he has some infinitely more creative video ideas than he used to. Instead of just, hey, here's a thing we're gonna plop Junior, Joseph, and Cody into. Or here's a thing that Jeffy's gonna break or get Mario in trouble with.
Oh,
the videos have
gosh,
actually
man.
really great
You guys
stories
have
that
beat.
fit into the characters really well now. And Logan even got around to finishing the SML movie, which was promised to come out all the way back in 2017. Which
Dang.
showcased how Logan is infinitely better prepared for huge spectacle scenes, like blowing up an entire
Ooh,
van or
holy
a school
shit.
bus. Just goes to show that after all this time, Logan still deeply cares about what he's putting out, and how this really is his
Dang.
passion. Logan made so much money for making
Yeah, like, see,
videos
that's
that
the
he could
thing.
come-
Like, that's the thing with Super Mario Logan is, like, for as stupid as it is, he puts effort into it. And that's kind of some of the sad parts. there is some good effort in it, and then there's also some really questionable choices. But, I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea, so what do I have to say about it?
comfortably sit in his house with his new family and his rekindled relationship with Chili, but he still uploads 2 to 3
He's
videos
back with
every
her?
single week, with creating brand new characters that aren't even based off anything, as well as being given the spotlight for more fan favorites like Brooklyn Guy and Chef Pee-Pee, and overall he's been able to retain fans as well as get the older ones who had stopped watching years ago to come back. Logan truly is a
Maybe I
story
should
that no
check
matter
them
what
out
you
again.
do, with enough hard work
Just
you can
see
really
what's
turn
going
any
on, you know?
aspect of your life around. And as you can see, I'm very well versed in my SML lore. And that's because if you couldn't have guessed by now, I've been watching SML since 2014. And I've followed every single one of these plot points in real time. We've truly come a long way, haven't we? So yeah, sorry if the SML section takes up a big chunk of this video, I just had so much
Nah,
to
I
say
get it,
on this.
man.
I mean, I've seen pretty much every goddamn video this man's put out in his entire career, so, you know. If anyone's gonna explain this
Yeah,
for
let
10
Jeffy
minutes straight, it's
spank
gonna be
Jeffy.
me. But anyway,
no.
let's move on to something else. What about... So now that we're finished with the Goliath that is SML, let's move on to someone else who's also forged countless childhoods.
I really
And
don't know the
course,
names of
being
any other ones.
Goomzilla. And where else to
Maybe
start
I've
but
seen a
with
video
the
of theirs?
Hood classic, the iconic and absolute historic Bowser's Mushroom Factory.
Oh yeah, I
Uploaded on
did!
10/10/2010
I
and
did
spanning
watch
10 minutes
that.
and 10 seconds. It's of course your very standard classic era plush video, with simple props and production value. However, the main difference between him and stuff like Cute Mario Bros. Or SML is that instead of doing a voiceover or voice acting, he simply uses Mario voice clips and quotes, which makes him much more unique when looking back on all these old camcorder videos.
Honestly, might have been why I didn't care to watch most of their stuff.
As for the actual plot, it's very
I
simple.
doubt that they use
Bowser
that.
makes a mushroom factory, and Mario and Luigi got some enemies to get big because of the mushrooms, and Mario and Luigi stomp on the whole thing, and Bowser's sad. But the fact that it's so simple leads us to be one of the most classic
Okay, that
Mario
was fun.
Plush videos of all time. And given how it uses nothing but stuff from the source material,
That
unlike
is
Super
such
Mario
a
Bros.
bad
and SML,
Peach plush.
kids like me at the time who were just getting into Mario ate this shit up. Plus, the video is just extremely creative. Like using stuff like Kinect's roller coaster pieces in order to make the whole mushroom factory aspect, as well as the bird cage to put Peach in. It's all very, very well done for the time. Which leads this video to having the absolutely deserved 83 million views that it has.
I
And even
did
beyond
remember
this
seeing
guy's
that
made a
pop up on
bunch
my
of other
feed a
classics,
lot of times.
like Luigi the Prankster or the Mario's Quest series. But ever since that fateful day in 2010, he really hasn't changed his content really at all. What he had worked so well, he's been doing it for over a decade. He's still doing the same thing and raking
again,
in the
if it ain't
views.
broke, don't
I
fix
honestly
it.
have massive respect for the guy. Channels like this would have fallen off the face of the earth by now, but his videos are just so charming and simple that he can still gain a new audience, despite the fact that his old ones have grown up. He's done other stuff like custom plush tutorials and a new version of Mario's Quest that's set entirely in Minecraft. I remember following his custom Goomba
cool.
plush tutorial years and years ago, and I still have it today. What a guy. Now that we're done with him, though, there's a few other videos and channels I want to bring up, and I'm going to be doing them in more of a rapid-fire way, since I'm not really going to be talking about the channels here, more just the specific videos. Since we're almost at 5 whole pages of just Mario plush videos, and I want to get to something else. Firstly, we need to talk about 25 Ways to Kill Yoshi.
Oh, I love this one.
video
I
is an
watch this like
absolute
almost every
godsend.
year.
Created by Shoney Boy in 2011, it's exactly as it sounds. A video of a guy putting a Yoshi plush to the test. Specifically the Yoshi from this DS accessory pack that came with a Mario as well. However, the video itself includes the Yoshi being frozen, buried alive, lit on fire, beat up, run over, blended, etc.
Hit with a nuke.
Yet another simple but hilarious
Jack in the
done
Box.
video that uses stock sound effects and all kinds of simple editing to create something truly iconic, yielding over 274 million views on his channel. And you know this video is a classic because he actually wrote out the word 25 instead of just putting a 2 and a 5. Ain't no way that get past the YouTube metagame nowadays. However, of course, we're not done here, as there's been many follow-up videos relating to even more ways to kill Yoshi in his cinematic
There was 25 more
Firstly,
ways
there's
to kill
more
Yoshi,
ways
yeah.
to kill Yoshi, which has much more cartoony and creative forms of destruction, like Yoshi getting beaten up by Bender from Futurama or being printed on a computer flat Stanley style. Then, of course, there's Ways to Kill Yoshi 3, which has much higher production
remember that
quality,
one.
as well as Big Yoshi, as well as various other videos featuring Yoshi in other ways. Truly a legacy to be remembered. After that, though, we've of course got to talk about Mario and Luigi Go to the Park. Created by that guy in the basement, it features two friends doing exactly as the title implies. Controlling and voicing over Mario and Luigi
I
as they
might have
fun
seen
on the
this
monkey
one
bars,
as
climbing
well,
walls, slide,
along with
etc.
Summer Fun.
I think this video
Oh yeah,
really
I
sums
remember
up
Mario
just how
hitting his face
amazing
on
and
those, yeah.
nostalgic videos from this era were. We all watched them as a kid, and this is just what kids do. We can imagine ourselves playing with Mario and stuff on a playground. I'd bet my bottom dollar that some kid said, "Hey mom, can we go
I
to
think
the
they
park
use like
after
one of
watching
the
this video?" Brought his
tubes, like
Mario
a
plush and
fake
did it
pipe or
himself.
something.
These are videos that literally any of us could have made. It's just two kids in a park with their Mario and Luigi plushes, but it makes it so nostalgic and so wholesome. It's pure childhood wonder just summed up into a video. And the
Yeah,
channel
pretty
in
much.
question has a ton of other videos like this, like Mario and Luigi in the desert, or Wario and Waluigi in the park. Truly
Hey, it's
awesome
Terrorist
stuff that's gonna be
Louise!
remembered
Like, what the
forever,
heck?
just like everything else I've mentioned. However, after that, I think we're finally done with Mario, finally. There's, of course, been a bunch of channels like that I didn't mention.
I feel like I've seen
and I'm
that
mainly
one.
not just for time's sake. So I pretty much just wanted to mention the heavy hitters and the biggest plush channels and videos in terms of Mario. But now we're done with our little paisano. I think it's time we move on to the main focus of this channel, for the love of God, Sonic. Now, in terms of Sonic plush
That one's
tubers,
way
it's
worse,
almost
and I
as
never even
in-depth
watched
as
them.
Mario in a lot of aspects, and it goes back to around the same time, as thanks to a very well done deep dive by Brobius, we know that most likely the earliest Sonic plush video ever uploaded to YouTube was by the one and only Sonic Toast, entitled
Yeah, this guy. I told you.
Knuckles Wanted Brownies. Uploaded on December 20th, 2006. It's a minute and 36 seconds and features nothing but the Adventure Knuckles plush and the cow toy sale.
I had a feeling that was the Adventure plush,
explaining
because
how
like the
Knuckles
nose is
wants
just a
to
little
eat
too
brownies
pointy.
or something. Sonic Toast, of course, being one of the pillars of the Sonic collecting community, made this video with pretty much a non-existent budget. However, he inadvertently made history. Now, like I said, though, this is just a theory. The scars aren't healing, man. I mean, it is possible that there's some random plush video from 2005 we don't know about. However, I tried doing some research into this myself,
What
and I
the
couldn't
fuck?
find anything either. So I do believe this is probably it. Sonic Toast would eventually go on to make some other Sonic plush videos, mostly.
Those
and by that
puppets,
I mean he'd make his own puppets using modified Sonic plushes. They honestly don't
Oh,
even look
gosh.
that bad for what they are. He uses these for random skits
Those
to
mouths
show
are
how
so
to play
weird.
a Sonic board game or something. And they would eventually go on to be used
Oh
in a
gosh, Tails
remake
is
of
even
Chucky's
worse.
Lucky Brownies. It all goes full circle, I tell you what. However, now we've gotten past the first Sonic plush video, I think it's time we get on to who is
Come on,
easily
you're not
the
gonna
most
talk about a
iconic
stop motion
Sonic plush
gig? It
tuber.
was so
Who
good.
else but Spin-Pro. His first video was all the way back from 2009, and is the ultimate patient zero of the title Sonic Plush Adventures. See, you know how when you type in Sonic Plush into YouTube and do newest uploaded, it's just 5,000 4-year-olds with their mom's iPhone calling themselves Sonic Plush Adventures, and they have like the Jack Sonic plush with like a bandana on his head? Yeah, that's because of this guy. He coined that term back in 2009, goddammit. For reference, here's a list of other things that came out in 2009.
Go-Go Pets, Hamsters. I think I remember those. Oh, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. My first Pokemon game. Oh yeah, the TikTok song. Bitcoin. Back when it was like cheap as shit. Microsoft Bing. Modern Family, Uber, Avatar, which one? Alvin and the Chipmunk Squeakle. Okay, then it's probably, if it's the Squeakle, then yeah, then that Avatar they're talking about is the Blue People movie.
But I'm sick and freaking tired of these kids nowadays having like 4K ass iPhone cameras to record their crappy Sonic plush videos. You know, back in my day, we had to live with our crusty 480p limit on our old videos. God, I'm old now. But anyway, as for
No,
Spin Pro,
dude, not even that. I was back when it was 280 or something like it. Was it 280 or 2? It was 240. I was back at 240. Was the norm.
It's the same basic structure you've seen with these classic videos. Old friends or siblings playing together with their childhood Sonic plushies and making some goofy-ass stories out of it. However, like a lot of the other ones, they of course have so much charm, and they're actually pretty funny a lot of
Into a
the times,
Sony box.
unironically. And something that's
That's
really
so
neat
stupid.
about these is that when they had a character that didn't have an official plush, he would just use paper cutouts, which I find to be amazing since that's what we all did when we were kids too. I remember having a Mario hat and cutting out all different little fire flowers and mushrooms and putting it under it. But this just really gives it the iconic early Sonic plush video feel. However, he did stop uploading
It's like
around
SpongeBob Monopoly money
2015.
or something.
However, he did make a comeback in 2020 for a limited time with the video Sonic Plush Adventures Chaotix, where it had completely custom-made Chaotix plushies, which looked really good.
I was about to say, those look like really good. I never heard of
cars, and it's
those
just amazing.
plushies
Other than
or
that,
seen
though,
those
I have
before.
pretty much nothing else to say about these guys. They left their mark on the Sonic plush community, and we are in debt to them forever. So now with Spin Pro out of the way, I think it's time we mention someone who's easily the biggest Sonic plush tuber nowadays. Who else am I speaking about but the one and only Supersonic Blake? But since I'm in an interesting position where I'm
I feel like I
actually
watched
good
a
friends with
video
Blake,
of him
I thought
once.
let's just let him explain
Recently.
his backstory,
Like, somewhat
uprising,
recently,
and everything
I
in
think.
between. So without any further ado, take it away,
But it
Blake.
wasn't
Hey
like
everyone,
plushes.
it's
It
the
was
SSB channel. Bulbasquirtle reached out to me to be a part of this video, so let's get right
it was
to
like
I started making Sonic the Hedgehog plush videos.
or I could be
all the way back
wrong. Maybe it was someone else. I just remember it being like, actually, nah. I was about to like bring it up on my phone because I think I like liked it, but nah, it's fine. Whatever.
2016, when killer clowns were threatening to kill us, white girls were dancing to Juju on that beat, and some kid named Daniel was back at it again with the white vans. In all seriousness,
All
I
right.
started the Supersonic Blake channel on January 21st, 2016, being inspired by Sonic Song 182's
Oh yeah, Sonic Song. Oh man. Maybe I should react to some of their Ask Sonic Heroes stuff because like that stuff was. I haven't watched their stuff in a long time, but I still am subscribed to them just because I loved their stuff back in the day. I still remember like that one question where it was like on Valentine's Day or something, I think, and it was like Sonic. No, maybe it wasn't Valentine's Day, but it was like Sonic, Shadow, and Silver being asked questions. And Rouge asked, "All right, so this person asked, hey, the writer Ian Flynn said that Silver is somehow a descendant of Shadow and Amy. So what do you think about that?" And then this like, and then freaking Silver is just like, "What, Mommy, Daddy, that's not true. That's impossible." Meanwhile, Amy's freaking having a heart attack, and Shadow's just like, "Me and Amy made Silver? No son of mine would ever be like Silver." Oh man, it's so funny.
Plush series, as well as Sonic's Toast, Sonic
Yeah, see, this is like one of the this is like, well, this isn't stop motion here. It was kind of like half stop motion, half not. But like this is like what I was talking about. Like these things, the action
Mario
figures.
stop motions. They were both a big
Yeah,
part
see,
of
there
my
it is.
childhood,
Those
and I wanted to
faces.
create my own stuff. So that I did. My origins were just me being a kid and wanting to make my own toy videos to fill the empty void I had as a child, being an only child with no friends at school, probably because I made YouTube videos about playing with Sonic toys. Jokes aside, I started the SSB videos alone, started filming mainly with my cousin Jesse, who used to voice Amy and Hattie at the time. Then came time for my cousin to leave to college, so that he did. Production on videos went immediately much slower because I had gotten used to a two-man team and didn't really know how
Yeah,
to
that'll
film
happen, man.
as a one person. Some time passed and I worked a catering job for this girl I liked at the time because it was her family-owned business full of nothing but women. Me being pretty tall, standing at 6'3", pretty strong, I was the perfect fit. Long story short, basically the man labor since the women were waitresses and they were either cooking or baking for the events. After 2 long days of working hard labor for the first time ever in my life, I ended up leaving early because I didn't want to do it anymore, as
That's
I
fair.
knew was gonna make about $80.
Look, man, I know what it feels like to work that type of job. It's pretty 80 Usher bucks.
The very next day, I filmed the SSB video, Night of the Werehog, which was an overnight success, sitting at 1.6 million views today. With that video also being the first video I made alone for the first time in a very long time.
Oh man, the freaking Werehog
got the
plush.
channel monetized, and I started making money, and it was all uphill from there. I learned to make videos on my own, thumbnails on my own, with my cousins and other people occasionally helping me throughout the years if really needed. The process of the videos was very simple. My cousin and I would text back and forth throughout the week, tossing around ideas of what to film, writing down jokes, you know, with our film day being Friday night / all day Saturday if it was like a theme park video.
Alright, kind of sounds like the South Park approach.
We would have fun and think of every
The
line
Adventure
of the week.
Amy
What
plush
inspired me
is
to
so
keep
cute.
making videos mainly stems
With the
from
big
me
old
seeing
freaking plastic
my own
eyeballs,
potential in
or
myself and the
irises.
channel. I was never big on school as I saw myself never working a corporate 9-to-5 job. And right around 2020 when the thing happened, I started uploading 2 to 3 videos every week and the channel skyrocketed. Thanks for listening to the story of the origins of the SSB channel. I hope you found
Glad
some
you could
of
make it, man.
interesting, and big thanks to Bulbasquirtle
I hope you
for having me
continue to
again.
soar.
Thank you, Blake, for that amazing insight into the world of plush tubing. And after that, I'd like to divert your attention to someone who's very close with someone who we talked about in depth, being, of course, Tito Totter. Being the brother of Chili, who's the fiance, girlfriend, wife, I don't even know anymore, of Logan himself, you'd think his
Yeah,
videos
it's
would be
confusing, I'll
pretty
be
much
honest.
identical to Logan's, just with Sonic. But no, they're really their own thing. Tito has a whole entire separate universe of characters that have
Oh
nothing
my
to do
god.
with Mario.
Okay, if this is... Okay, here's the question. If this dude was doing this back then this is probably why Chili was cool with Logan. Because, I'll be honest, I doubt that a whole lot of freaking women would be like, okay, you play with toys for a living. But I mean, like, hey, you can't question the dollar bills.
or anything else. And of course, he features Sonic, played by Tito, Chili, who plays Tails, as well as the other iconic character of Panda, Anthony, who plays Knuckles, and so on and so forth. As for the actual plushes,
Ah,
he
yes,
uses a
our
mix
great-
of the Sega
great
Prize
Sonic
Euro plushes,
character,
as well
Panda.
as GE. And overall, his videos are much faster paced and hectic than SML. As well, Tito will actually film in their new house that they all live in, which allows him to utilize stuff like the phone booth they have in their living room for some reason. And I really respect Tito and his channel, since most people would assume that he's just a lazy rehash of SML, just instead of Mario using Sonic. And I mean, he does reuse some of the puppets from SML here and there, and it's really unintentionally funny. Tito still uploads today and makes pretty good videos. Obviously, there's infinitely more
Chow
history
plushes.
about Logan, but that's a story for another day. You get the idea, though. Tito's a Chad. And now insert that fake-ass video of him sneaking into the SML house and Logan getting mad at him.
Tito, what are you doing? Get the fuck out of here!
Okay, that's actually kind of funny.
I had to finish it!
So after him, we find ourselves
Okay, that was
kind of a
funny. That was
crossroads.
actually
Well,
funny.
yes, there are many, and I mean many other Sonic Plush channels out there, and I respect all of them and what they do. I really just don't have a lot to say about the other channels here. Like, for example, Sonic and Friends, a channel that's been around for almost a decade, and is pretty much the same content format as all the other channels we looked at again. That's not a bad thing, and I'm not saying the content itself is poorly made or anything. It's just that after going over so many plush channels, I'm really just not left with that much to say about these other channels. Same thing with other people like Sonic Whacker, who's a very well-known person in the plush community. And while yes, this is a video talking about the history of plush channels, I could make an entire ass video based solely on Sonic. And plus, most of the information I'm talking about will probably just end up being regurgitated from things like Sonic Plush Rewind, which is a yearly recap with different Sonic Plush channels that Blake created, which features interviews and Q&As with
Bro,
several
the
creators.
face.
So if you want to see more on these people, I'd highly recommend checking out Sonic Plush Rewind, since I'm not really in a
Or
mood
mouth,
to sit here
but,
for the
like,
next
still.
20 minutes and explain why Sonic meets Skibidi Toilet is an icon of the Sonic Plus community and Sweet Honor as such. I mean, it is, but you get the idea. However, after that, there's one more type of Sonic Plush video I want to bring up, and that being the ones that are actually made by Sega. Since, as of 2024, there's actually been a handful of different videos made by Sega and other official companies that work with the Sonic license and have made actual plush videos in the same vein as everyone else we've looked at. Like, for example, we could start with the iconic Sonic Adventure 1 commercial.
Okay, I know that one. I know the Sonic Adventure 1 commercial.
I mean, yeah, technically, this is a plush video. They are filming themselves pretending
they literally, he'll probably say this, but they literally flew over the freaking Aztecs and dumped this freaking Sonic plush over off of a helicopter.
The characters and doing skits with them. And the word skit may not be entirely right to use here, considering that instead of, like, you know, Sonic goes to Dunkin' Donuts or something, we get Sonic getting thrown out of an episode.
They literally threw him out of a helicopter.
Wondered whether they actually were able to find these plushes. I mean, I don't see why they would even try. Like, they probably had 50 more in a big Durlap sack at the Sega HQ. But you know, if you're ever hiking through wherever the hell they filmed this in some jungle, and you see a decaying, rotting Sonic Adventure
I'm pretty sure it was the Aztecs.
You really struck gold. Sonic collectors on their way to buy the maggot-infested Sonic Adventure 1 plush for 20 grand. But anyway, there's also, of course, the video where they're actually
completely
using them
destroyed at this
point.
point.
Instead of just, you know, throwing them out of an airplane.
Or buried.
Some other ones, like the random social media posts they've done with stuff like Tomy plushes. I'm probably missing some, but you know, you get the idea. The more modern ones are sort of missing the charm and epicness of Jeffy Logan 30 Acre. And now, we're finally done with the two biggest franchises I wanted to talk about, being Mario and Sonic. There are, of course, a ton, and I mean a ton of other franchises that have very large plush video scenes. I mean, there's has-been plush videos, fair enough. However, of course, this video can't be 15 hours long, so I'm going to be limiting myself to one more channel I want to talk about. And where else to start but with what is undoubtedly the most iconic series besides Sonic and Mario. I'm of course talking about the extensive community of FNAF PlushTube.
Oh my gosh, no. My thought exactly. No. Please no.
Did you have to spray that on my hotcakes?
Now, Fried Chili Cheese Dogs is a very in-depth channel. They have a huge history making all kinds of amazing skits and videos, and I'd highly recommend checking out Chazingting's video going over the topic, as it goes much more in-depth into the actual creation of the channel. But for now, all you need to know is that there's a guy named Bobby and all of his friends and family who appear in these videos, and I'm going to be talking about one of his most iconic series. I think these videos can be summed up by one simple clip.
Okay.
SpongeBob drones! This little pigeon is leaving the nest!
As for the actual videos, they're summed up to be infomercials about different SpongeBob products. Coming in 4 parts, with the first one being SpongeBob cereal. I can't really say these fit in with other plush videos we've looked at.
Mr. Krabs, you look fucked up.
Using SpongeBob plushies rather than actual plush videos with a story and characters and everything. But that doesn't mean I take them any less seriously. And with SpongeBob cereal, we have the characters explaining how absolutely astonishing it is, with so many awesome one-liners and character interactions that would never fly on Nickelodeon.
Freaking Plankton is just a freaking...
have the same basic personalities, but goddamn, they are not the same characters. The cereal video isn't really that long, and it's much more of an introduction than anything. However, getting into the second video, SpongeBob...
Oh, the mac and cheese that is shaped like different characters.
Where the lines become absolutely iconic.
Did they freaking cook it and put it back in the box? Why? It's a waste. I mean, I guess it was a waste of cereal in the first one, but like, bruh.
Almost every sentence from these videos is so ingrained into everybody who watched them as a kid. And plus, the production quality
I never
of these
did,
videos
so
is
I don't know.
Improved, with stuff like a fully custom-made Squidward's house, as well as the preservation of a certain joke from the first video that landed oh too well. Everbo, Mr. Squidward.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
And then moving into the third video, SpongeBob SquarePants Fruit Snacks, we get to the running joke of fruit as well as the increased amount of hijinks and insanity, with line delivery that becomes more unhinged. The music gets louder and it's overall just even more insane. And of course, how can we talk about this video without talking about the Great Fruit Race?
As we all know, Squidward
What?
wants to get one of Patrick's fruits, but he doesn't have any money, so he goes and bets Mr. Krabs. The bet is to win something called the Grapefruit Race, which has Plankton, Spongebob, and Patrick racing
At least he
for the
actually
grand
got a
prize.
plushie
And
of
after
Plankton this
Plankton
time.
is imploded by a rooftop sniper and Patrick wins the race, Squidward is winning the bet. But he can't open his prize.
Let me give her a squeeze, Mr. Squidward!
Oh no. Oh
After that,
fuck.
though, we get to the grand finale. Quite possibly one of the greatest videos on the entire internet. As the title implies, SpongeBob SquarePants Everything is the ultimate climax to the entire series. It's the longest by far at over 9 minutes long, and it has an absolute
Jeez
buttload of
whiz.
skits that don't have any connection to the previous ones.
How many times I have to
instead of
clean
having
that
SpongeBob
flush?
and Patrick talk about how great fruit is, we have things like Patrick making cookies and setting
Well, what the
Squidward's
fu-
house on fire, the SpongeBob sippy cup getting filled with boiled cabbage, Patrick getting encased in gelatin, Squidward's house being set on fire again via a SpongeBob mouthwash, Patrick becoming a puddle, Squidward being thrown off of a roof, Patrick learning to fly, SpongeBob drawstring bag full of boiled cabbage, SpongeBob pinata being blown up with a firework, Squidward's house being lit on fire via a Patrick candle, the lifeguard's hotcakes being infested with SpongeBob furniture polish, and of course the iconic ending to Have a Bowl, Mr. Squidward, with such crazy things as Squidward getting swole, Squidward paying the toll, Squidward scoring a goal, Squidward digging a hole, Squidward whacking a mole, and it all comes together when it turns out Plankton was the one creating this all along, creating all the SpongeBob products to take over the world. But they all end up okay and the day is saved thanks to them all becoming the bestest of friends. This video is so iconic that on Twitter, I
Mr. Krabs'
the image that was
eyes.
used in the video with the first line in the video, and my epic Twitter followers were able to quote the entire video in the replies of the tweet one line at a time. You can't make this stuff up. Fried Chili Cheese Dogs does have other plush videos like the Space Jam one, which is hilarious, but at this point I think you get the idea of how they work, so go check them out if you want. And with that, I believe that's finally it from me. There is the history and chaotic lore of plush tubing. I've been recording for over an hour now. I'm on page number 9 of the script. And this is gonna be
Yeah,
one
I've been almost
long-ass
recording for an
video.
hour almost.
Definitely go check out
Just
any
about to
of
hit the
these
50
channels
mark.
if they look interesting to you. Or hell, go make your own plush videos. I'm not your dad. And if you've made it this long, please smash that subscribe button. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it took me a really long time to make this video, and I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot. And I hope you guys are susceptible to these kind of videos on a more regular basis. Since I'm gonna be completely honest, Sonic is sort of running out of steam for me. I still enjoy the videos of Sonic I put out, it's just I'm running out of things to talk about with them. So I hope to pivot into more general topics like this that go into more internet lore and all that kind of stuff. And I can
That's
inform
fair.
you guys on the wacky world of internet lore and the world around it. If you have any more deep dives you want me to go into, please leave a comment explaining so. So I guess that's it for me. Have a good one and bye-bye. I'm just imagining Logan's kid when she goes to school. It's gonna be like, your dad's Super Mario Logan. His classmates are gonna want kid's autograph, Jesus Christ.
Oh no. That I can just imagine like how terrible it's gonna be for them. Oh no. But anyway, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll check out the gaming channel, and I'll see you imps in the next video. Bye. All right, you imps, fall in line. Only you can build up the numbers in the imp army, so that Oni-Chan, your leader, can prevail. I look forward to meeting you on the battlefield of the YouTube algorithm. Have a lovely day.